Good day, first year students. In the last video, I told you about how to find the rhyme scheme in a poem. Today, I will talk about some major figures of speech used in the poems that we have read so far. Figures of speech are an important part of poetic techniques. Now, you might wonder what are figures of speech and what do they mean? So, a figure of speech is a word or a phrase using figurative language. Figurative language, language that has other meaning than its literal definition or normal definition. I'm sure you all must be familiar with the Hindi word alankar. Figures of speech have the same meaning and purpose in English language as the alankar have in Hindi language. जिस तरह हिंदी लैंग्वेज में अलंकार होते हैं, इन द सेम वे देर आर सम फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज दैट आर यूज्ड फॉर different purposes. Sometimes to create a musical effect, sometimes to make a comparison, and sometimes to produce a dramatic or artistic effect by using language in a particular way. Though there are hundreds of figures of speech, but here I will tell you about some commonly used of them with reference to the poems that we have studied so far. So first is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of sounds, particularly the first consonant sound at the beginning of a word. Let's see some examples of alliteration to understand it better. Now, this line is from Shakespeare's sonnet Remembrance, and the very first line of the sonnet. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought. Note the repetition of sound sir in the words sessions, sweet, and silent. In fact, it is the repetition of sound sir, not the repetition of letter s that counts. Alliteration spot करने के लिए आपको लेटर के साउंड पर फोकस करना है, ना कि लेटर के रेपिटेशन पर. एंड हेयर वी फाइंड द रेपिटेशन ऑफ साउंड स इन द वर्ड्स सेशन, स्वीट एंड साइलेंट. सो alliteration is used here. Now, somewhat similar to alliteration is assonance. Repetition of consonant sound is called consonance, but repetition of vowel sounds is considered assonance. Sounds which start with A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y also. Assonance is generally found within the words, internally. See here, for example, and heavily from woe to woe tell over. Here is the repetition of vowel sound O in words woe, not in the word to, because the letter O has different sound here, which is oo, to, and again in woe and then in over. Next example, then can I grieve at grievances foregone. Now, this is a good example of consonance and assonance together. Consonance is there because there is repetition of consonant sound g, and also assonance is there with repetition of E and O sound in grieve, grievances, and foregone respectively. And both these lines are from sonnet Remembrance. Another example of assonance and consonance is from Spenser's poem A Wedding Song, which I did a couple of days ago. Here, her long, loose, yellow locks. Repetition of L and O sound in the words long, loose, yellow locks. So it's quite simple to spot alliteration. बस आपको लेटर के साउंड पर, उसके प्रोनाउंसिएशन पर ध्यान देना है, ना कि सिर्फ लेटर पर. And see how this repetition of sounds creates a rhythm, a tone, a musical effect in lines, and that's why it is frequently used in poetry. So this was about alliteration. More of figures of speech I'll cover in next class. Thank you for today.